Good morning guys and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you part 2 of my favorite perfumes by house or by designer. So originally I wasn't planning to do a part 2, but my part 1 video, once I completed that, which was already pretty long, I realized that I had missed out on a couple of pretty major houses and designers. For example, Jo Malone and Guerlain, which are quite, I love Jo Malone, I love Guerlain. I couldn't believe that after I was done I had missed them, but I think I went through like 30 some odd houses and designers in my last video. And once I sat down and started making a list, I realized there's probably just as many for a part 2 video. Today's video, I'm going to try to keep a little bit more shorter and concise and sweet. The last video was over 45 minutes long. This one, I'm going to try to keep to under half an hour. So let's get started in today's video. If you're new here, welcome. My name's Alithia, and on this channel, we do talk a lot about perfume. So if that's something that you like, I would love if you would consider subscribing. Also, if you'd like to play along, I would love if you would comment down below as we go and write down your favorite perfumes by designer and by house. I'm really looking forward to seeing what everybody else's picks are afterwards and reading your comments down below. And also keep in mind that perfume is very subjective. Just because I think that something is the best perfume from a house definitely doesn't mean that other people will share that sentiment. We all interpret perfumes in a different way and we all have different tastes and likes. So with that out of the way, let's get started in today's video. Okay, so in no particular order, let's start out with Jimmy Choo. So my favorite perfume from Jimmy Choo is the original Jimmy Choo. So that one is a delicious toffee patchouli fragrance. I don't have that one in my collection anymore just because I do have a hard time with very sweet, heavy, gourmandy patchoulis. They just don't always sit right with me. Think something along the lines of Angel, like Olivier Bell. Those sort of like super sweet, rich, dense patchoulis are not always my cup of tea. However, there was a period of time that I wore Jimmy Choo by Jimmy Choo all the time and I absolutely loved it, and that one remains today to still be my favorite from the brand. So the next house is Prada, and I currently don't have anything from Prada in my collection. I would say that probably my two favorite Prada perfumes would be Prada La Femme, which is a really nice, light, soapy, kind of an everyday easy grab and go perfume, although I don't currently own that one. And I also liked the original Prada Candy, but unfortunately I found that the performance with that one was lacking a little bit, but that was sort of my ideal type of perfume. So currently I don't have anything from Prada in my collection. Next we have Chloe, and if you guys are OG channel watchers, you know that my favorite Chloe perfume is Chloe Absolue de Parfum. This is one that I am considering bringing back into my collection. I love the Chloe perfumes. When I did massive declutters in the past, this was a perfume that just didn't make the cut into, like, when I was culling down my collection. It wasn't one that I reached for a ton. I definitely had other perfumes that I reached for more, but this is a beautiful perfume. If you haven't smelled it, it's like a vanillic take on the other Chloe perfume. So Chloe is like floral, very clean, very classic. Don't know if everybody loves the House of Chloe, although I think it's pretty popular. But Chloe Absolue de Parfum is almost like a vanilla soap version of Chloe. It's absolutely beautiful. It's roses, it's vanilla, there's patchouli. It's just really stunning and definitely my favorite from the house. And don't be surprised if you do see that perfume back in my collection. So next up we have Givenchy, and I would say that my favorite Givenchy perfume is probably Haute Couture. I don't think I have anything else from Givenchy at the moment, and I'm not a huge Givenchy perfume fan, but I do really like Haute Couture, specifically the Eau de Parfum. That's a really sensual, sort of a peppery, raspberry nighttime perfume. It's very sexy. I think it's great for a night out. Also, one of my boyfriend's probably one of the favorite perfumes he's ever smelled in terms of like night out perfumes. I don't have that one currently because, again, when I did my collection declutter, it didn't quite make my top for life, but that was an amazing perfume, and unfortunately it's not one that I really reach for enough. I think I would only ever wear it for a night out, and sort of rarely at that, because I have a lot of night out perfumes and I don't go out at night a ton, so I just don't have a lot of room in my collection for like these boozy, like nighttime adventure kind of perfumes. But yeah, that would be my favorite from Givenchy. So I'm going to throw in a couple of celebrity perfumes in today's video, and let's start with Rihanna. I'm actually not a huge fan of any of Rihanna's perfumes, including the really popular Reb Fleur. That one just was never my cup of tea. I think that there's plum in that perfume, possibly peach, I'm not sure, but something in that perfume did not sit well with me. It's never been a favorite. If you want to consider Fenty sort of an extension of Rihanna. I will say that I do like Fenty by Fenty. That one is kind of a really unique blueberry fragrance, I believe, and I do have that one in my collection. That was one that I recently purchased because I just thought it was so unique and very pretty, and there was like a sex appeal to it, and I hadn't really smelled anything just like it before. I don't know how much I will wear it. I don't find it to be an easy reach, but I will talk about that more in a future video. So if I had to pick one from Rihanna, I guess I would probably just say Fenty, and I would say Fenty by Fenty would be my choice. All right, let's do another celebrity. So when it comes to Arianna Grande, I would say you guys already know my favorite Arianna Grande perfume is REM. I currently don't have that one in my collection. At some point, it did start to sort of smell strange to me. I'm not sure what happened. It just all of a sudden one day started making me feel a little strange when I wore it. You know how sometimes your taste can change and your nose can just start interpreting something differently. So that is one though that I absolutely loved. It was like a really cozy, kind of a sexy skin scent, but also lavender, but also a little bit gourmand, and I really, really liked that one. I also like Cloud, but I don't have that one either. I found that when I wore it, it was too similar to Baccarat Rouge, but I really wanted to give my attention to Baccarat Rouge before that bottle starts to get old. And I also really like Thank You Next, but yeah, Thank You Next was one that I sort of had a moment with where I just couldn't get enough of it, and I just thought it was amazing, and I just really enjoyed it. And these days I'm sort of not really loving it as much. So I do like those three though. I would say Cloud, REM, and Thank You Next, which are three of her most popular perfumes. Okay, so when it comes to Guerlain, I love Guerlain, like love, love, love Guerlain. And there's a lot from Guerlain that I have yet to experience. A few from the more exclusive line that I would like to try. I need to go to a Guerlain counter or get samples. But the ones that I would say are my top favorite are definitely Mon Guerlain in the #1 spot. That's one of my favorite perfumes, definitely a top 10 for life. I also really like Mon Guerlain Intense, and sometimes I think I should bring that one back because I loved it just about equally to Mon Guerlain. It's just that they're good for different occasions. The original one is more versatile. I also really love Spiritus Double Vanille and Angelique Noir. I was not a fan of Tonka Imperial. I believe it was Tonka Imperial. That one was a little bit too powdery for me. It was really beautiful, but it was a little bit too heavy and too powdery. Yeah, Queer Beluga did not end up working out for me. It was a little bit too leathery and sort of started making me feel a little bit nauseated. But I do really love Spiritus Double Vanille, Angelique Noir, and Mon Guerlain. Those would be my top 3 favorite from the house. Let's go with something a little bit more low-key, and we'll talk about Cacharel. I do not have a favorite Cacharel perfume. I've never really loved the Cacharels. There's Yes I Am Fabulous, Yes I Am Delicious, whatever, Yes I Am, whatever else there is. I am not really a huge fan. They're all a little bit too sweet for me and just never have really been my cup of tea. I would say if I had to pick one, I think I like Yes I Am Delicious. That one is the chocolatey one, but I didn't like it enough to purchase it. But I do enjoy going up to it and smelling it when I'm in the store. Okay, so let's do a niche house and we'll talk about Nishane. So when it comes to Nishane, I'll be honest, I haven't smelled enough Nishane to say this is my favorite out of all of them. I have had 100 Silent Ways, which I bought because I was very influenced by YouTube to blind buy that one. And it was really beautiful, but didn't end up sticking around for me, just wasn't a very easy reach for me. I've also had Nishane Annie or Ani, however you want to pronounce it. That one is incredible, absolutely incredible, but I didn't find it to be a very easy wear. It was something that I loved to come up and smell, but I didn't wear it. I didn't enjoy wearing it. So I would have to say that my favorite, if I had to pick one, would probably be 100 Silent Ways. I do find that one a little bit more wearable, and it's just like more feminine and a little bit more my style, but I have only ever smelled, I've only ever smelled 3 Nishane perfumes. I will say that they're all amazing. I also have a little decant of Fan Your Flames, and that one is fantastic. If I was somebody who wore those deep unisex tobacco type of scents, I would definitely wear Fan Your Flames. That one is really, really nice. So I guess I haven't smelled enough Nishane to really know if there's one that would fit into my collection. When it comes to Memo, there is one Memo perfume that I really, really like, and that is Memo Sintra. I've smelled actually quite a few from this house, not all of them, but quite a few, and I will say that my hands down favorite is Memo Sintra. I actually just had a sample sent to me from a company. I will say that is a love at first sniff. Like, it's an absolute love at first sniff. I actually have tried it before. The reason I don't have a full bottle is because I don't know how often I would wear it, because it is sort of that orange blossom neroli, sugary sweet caramel fluffy marshmallow kind of thing, just the same way that Love Don't Be Shy is. And I do love Love Don't Be Shy, and I do love Sintra, but I have kind of a hard time wearing those really sweet orange blossomy neroli perfumes. I'm not sure why, so I feel like if I had it, I don't know if I'd wear it very much, but it is a beautiful perfume. The bottle is stunning, and I've almost purchased a bottle numerous times, you guys, so there is a chance that I still will eventually buy this perfume. I just want to make sure it's something that I will actually wear if I have it. Okay, so when it comes to Le Labo, I do not have a favorite Le Labo scent. I did have a whole bunch of samples, and I really liked Santal 33. Like, I really like the way that it smells, but it's just not really my type of perfume. It's not really my style. I don't think I would ever wear it. I actually at some point did buy a full bottle of Santal 33, thinking, I think I was just influenced by YouTube. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna wear this. I'm gonna be so like posh. Like, look at me with my Santal 33. But no, it did not end up panning out. Just not my style of perfume. Maybe one day in the future I'll revisit it. I would like to smell more from the house, because even though I had a whole bunch of samples, there were definitely a few, like their Tonka one, that I have not smelled yet. All right, when it comes to BDK Parfums, which I know gained a lot of popularity over the last couple of years, I actually don't have a favorite from BDK. I've had a couple of bottles. I've owned Gris Charnel. I've had samples of pretty much everything from the house, including Passé Soir, which I think is really nice, but I don't think it would be an easy reach for me. Also the Rouge Smoking. That one is nice, but again, I don't think it would be an easy reach. So at this point, there just really isn't anything from BDK Parfums that I like enough to have in my collection. I did have Velvet Tonka as well. That was actually a blind buy, and although that one is incredible, it's one of the most amazing scents I've ever smelled. Again, not an easy reach, not something that I would easily be able to wear. Great quality, unique perfumes, really nice house, but just nothing from the house that suits my taste. Let's throw in another cheaper or more affordable house, and let's talk about Britney Spears. So Britney Spears, my favorite would just be the Original Fantasy. I have tried obviously most from the house. I also do like Private Show, because that one is kind of like a sweet coffee fragrance, but the performance on that one is not very good. I don't have quite as much of a desire to wear some of these super sweet fragrances like that. So I don't have anything currently from Britney Spears. So I would say right now my favorite is probably just the Original Fantasy. My boyfriend also really likes that one. It's kind of a mass-pleasing, can't go wrong. Men seem to really like it, even though it is very dated. And also I will say that they have reformulated Fantasy. Everything was better when it was first released, including this perfume. It used to be a lot richer and more decadent, which is really unfortunate because it's actually a really good DNA. There's a lot of really high-end designer or like niche houses that have actually duped this scent profile, or it smells very similar to the scent profile. One of those is Cassiopeia from Tiziana Terenzi. It's like a $600 perfume, and it smells very similar to Britney Spears Fantasy. Of course, it's a little better quality, much better quality, but honestly, it's a good scent profile, you guys. There's a reason that it's so popular, and there's a reason that a lot of other houses have come up with other scent profiles that are very similar, and they do very well. So all right, let's talk about Seven Virtues. So for Seven Virtues, my favorite is definitely Vanilla Woods. I've tried all of them, and I'm not a huge fan of any of them. However, I do really like Vanilla Woods. That one is like a delicious caramel vanilla with a little bit of pear. It actually pulls very, very woody. I think about that one sometimes. I think about bringing it back. It was a very easy reach. It was really enjoyable. Just a really nice grab-and-go perfume, especially for the fall because of that woody component. All right, Vancleef Arpels. So my two favorite from Vancleef Arpels that I have smelled, okay, three, I have three, would be Orchidée Vanille, Santal Blanc, and Bois Doré. Those are my three favorite that I've ever tried from the house. Santal Blanc is a beautiful fig scent. It's kind of light in a sense. It doesn't have the greatest performance. I did actually purchase a bottle of that when I was on vacation back in the day, and unfortunately I just didn't love the performance. Once I got it back home, I didn't feel that it was giving me what I felt it gave me in the store that day. In the store that day, I felt absolutely head over heels in love with it. It was incredible. It's a really beautiful scent, and you should try it out if you like those sort of like airy, subtly sweet, coconutty fig scents. It's absolutely gorgeous. Bois Doré is a beautiful sort of mineralic tobacco. It's a very like unisex perfume, but I think it's perfectly unisex. Men or women could wear it, and it has also this really cold, beautiful vanillic quality about it. Stunning, stunning perfume. I did own Bois. I did let it go because I didn't wear it. And Orchid Aveny was actually a really nice, cozy, orangey, chocolatey vanilla. Again, that one just did not end up sticking around. I had other vanillas that I liked a lot more than Orchid Aveny, and I do not regret letting go of Orchid Aveny. I don't know, Santal Blanc is a nice one to have in terms of like a collector's item, sort of. Like, it's a beautiful perfume, and if I did own any from Vancleef Arpels, I would definitely keep Santal Blanc and Bois. Who knows, if I allow my collection to expand one day and get bigger, perhaps I will go back to that house and see if I want to bring a couple back, but at this moment, I don't really regret letting go of any of the Vancleef Arpels. From the house of Diptyque, my favorite is definitely Eau de Well, and I do really like the Eau de Toilette. I don't find it to be a super easy wear. I find that if I wear it too heavily, it actually starts to bother me. It's a really beautiful scent though. It's absolutely gorgeous. The bottle is beautiful. The packaging is beautiful. I do like a couple of other ones from Diptyque, but I didn't like any of them enough to bring them into my collection, so I would like to go back though to a Diptyque counter and just revisit them. I think that they're amazing. Okay, let's talk about Nest perfumes. So my easy favorite from Nest is definitely Sun-Kissed Hibiscus. I've actually owned that perfume at least once, tried to give it a shot numerous times. I never could bring myself to wear it very often because it is a coconut perfume. And as you guys know, I just really have a hard time wearing coconut. Love the way it smells, but have a hard time wearing it. I don't know why. But that one, you guys, is absolutely stunning. In terms of coconut perfumes, it's probably one of the nicest, beachy, tropical, like immediate love at first sniff. It's just beautiful. It also has like an ambery component. It's very sexy. It's very sweet. It's very warm. Listen to myself. I'm talking myself into buying it again. I love that perfume, you guys, and I think it's super, super sexy. And actually mixed with Vanilla Vibes from Juliette Has a Gun, it's quite nice too. Juliette Has a Gun's Vanilla Vibes adds a little bit of a salty component to it and a little bit more vanilla, and those two mixed together are really, really nice. But yeah, just have a hard time with the coconut, but if I had to pick one, it would definitely be Sun-Kissed Hibiscus. Since we're talking about Juliette Has a Gun, let's quickly touch on that house. I would say my favorite from Juliette Has a Gun are which is the powdery caramel raspberry one in the pink bottle, and also Vanilla Vibes I do like, but again, that one is a little bit too beachy for me. I also have a hard time with like super salty beachy scents. There's salty in terms of like a true table salt sort of vibe, and then there's salty in terms of like ocean water salt, if you guys know what I'm talking about. And I have a hard time with that ocean water component. I find it nauseating. So I really like Vanilla Vibes, but I don't know if that sort of oceanic, tropical island, like saltwater vibe would bother me or not. I do actually have a travel-sized version of that perfume upstairs that was sent to me by a company, and I might try wearing it during the summer this year and just see how it goes, but currently it is not an easy reach, and I really do not like the Not a Perfume. That one is just like headache central for me, and I don't really care for any of the other ones, so currently don't have anything from Juliette Has a Gun. Okay, let's talk about something a little higher end, and let's talk about Initio. So I have tried lots of samples from Initio, and I've also been to the Initio perfume counter. However, I didn't have a lot of time to spend there, and I really, honestly, let me know, you guys, this is a pet peeve, but I hate when sales associates hound you and offer to spray everything for you and say, oh, you should check this. What are you looking for? What do you like in perfumes? It's like, I'm just like, I've actually literally smelled thousands. Like, I just want to be left alone. I just want to smell the perfumes by myself. Thank you, but I don't need assistance. Like, I wish that I could just go into a perfume, like into a Saks Fifth Ave or a niche perfume store and just have nobody there and just be left alone with the paper strips and the perfumes. Like, I don't need to talk to you about it. I don't want to talk about our tastes and our likes. I just want to spend, because it takes so much time. When I was at the Initio counter, I felt like I had to entertain and converse whilst I was experiencing, and it was really difficult for me to actually even like experience the perfume. I don't know, whatever, that's just my little rant for the day. So I will be going back to an Initio counter. Long story short, I haven't discovered an Initio that I like enough to have in my collection. I do really like Side Effect. I really like Rehab. I wasn't a fan of Musk Therapy. A lot of their perfumes are fantastic, but a little bit masculine leaning. Oud for Greatness, again, amazing. Like, the Initio perfumes are amazing. I love a lot of them. I just don't know if there's one that's exactly my taste, but I do want an Initio in my collection. Like, that is on my wish list. So currently I don't have a absolute diehard favorite. So I did already talk about Chanel in my last video in my part 1. Today I'm going to mention the Les Exclusifs, and my favorite from the Chanel Les Exclusifs line would be beige. I really love floral, feminine, depending on the type of floral. I love those kind of like lighter, easy to reach for, classy, everyday perfumes. So there's a lot from Chanel like Coromandel that are not my cup of tea. They're really beautiful. They have a lot of beautiful perfumes, but the one that I find to be the easiest reach and just a beautiful, classy, lovely yellow floral with a bit of a beeswaxy component, I think there's also hawthorn in there, is beige. And I actually love that perfume. I do have a decant of it, and sometimes I think about bringing a full bottle into my collection because it is really stunning. So that would be my favorite from Chanel Les Exclusifs. Fragrance du Bois. So I have been sent a couple of perfumes from Fragrance du Bois. I also was sent a discovery set, and I will say that a lot of them are really fantastic and they're beautiful. I don't have a top favorite. Like, I don't have one that is one that I love enough that I'm like, I have to have this in my collection. Santal Complete was really beautiful, but I didn't really reach for it all that much. I believe that there's sandalwood in that one. Sometimes I can have a hard time with sandalwood. I also think there was coconut in that one. But the perfumes overall from Fragrance du Bois are high quality and beautiful, and I do recommend checking them out if they are your cup of tea. Okay, let's talk about Philosophy. This is a little bit more affordable of a house, and honestly, there's nothing from Philosophy that I love enough that I have to have one in my collection. The original, what is it, Amazing Grace, is that the one? That one was really nice. There's a few other ones that are like creamier and more vanillic. They do have a lot of beautiful perfumes, but yeah, none of them are must-haves for me, I have to say. Let's talk about Moschino really quickly, just because I know that there are a few popular Moschino fragrances, like the bubblegum one and like the teddy bear bottles. I do not like really anything from Moschino. I've tried the fresh perfumes, not all of them. I've only actually tried the gold one. I would like to try the original fresh one in like the Windex bottle, and also the pink one. I don't think they're going to be my cup of tea, but I would like to try them just because I've never smelled them before. Not a huge fan of the bubblegum one, not a fan of any of the teddy bear bottle ones. I don't like whatever it is, Cheap, Chic, and Fresh, or whatever it's called. I can't remember the name of that one. I'll put it on the screen. Anyways, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Moschino in general, so I don't own anything, and I don't really want anything from the house. From the house of Micallef, I have 3 favorites. One of them is Mon Parfum Cristal. That one is a beautiful toffee rose fragrance, but it's very, very heavy on the rose. You have to really, really like a dominant rose scent in order to like that one, but it's absolutely stunning. Just not one that I find an easy reach. I used to own that one, but I do not have that one anymore. I also like Ylang and Gold, but again, that one just was not an easy reach for me. Something about it, I just did not reach for it very often at all. And the other one that I like from Micallef is Note Vanille. Actually, my top favorite probably is Note Vanille. That one is a really beautiful boozy vanilla fragrance. It leans very feminine in my opinion, but it does have this lovely boozy quality as well. So it's very like dressy, special occasion. It really makes me feel like I'm dressing up in a beautiful like gown or something and going to like a really posh holiday party. That's how I feel when I wear Note Vanille. And those would be my 3 favorites from Micallef. All right, when it comes to Xerjoff, this is one of the most frequently asked questions I get. What is your favorite Xerjoff? Which Xerjoff should I try? Do you recommend? You guys, I am not well versed enough in Xerjoff. I will just say that I have not tried enough from Xerjoff to be able to say these are my top ultimate. Like, I'm still exploring that house. Again, I don't live anywhere near a Xerjoff counter. Every time I experience Xerjoff, it is through purchasing samples online, and of course there's so many I don't even really know where to begin. So I do need to buy more samples from Xerjoff. However, I have also owned a few bottles. I've had Italica, not my cup of tea, you guys. It is very dusty and powdery smelling. It was really hyped up, but I don't understand the hype with that one. Like, it's beautiful, but not my cup of tea. Just too dusty. Kind of smelled like a dusty candle, a dusty almond candle. So that one is not my cup of tea. Dama Bianca is absolutely stunning. However, I believe there's a note of kumquat in there, and something about the mixture of the vanilla with the fruity note just didn't sit well with me, but that one is a very feminine, beautiful, like princess type of perfume. I've also had Lyra. Lyra would be probably one of my top favorite from Xerjoff that I've ever smelled. It's an amazing sort of like lemon cookie scent. It's delicious, absolutely stunning. But again, it was not an easy reach. I loved to smell it, but I did not love to wear it. I don't know why. Something about it, just I did not love to wear it. When it comes to the other bottles and the other Xerjoff fragrances, Bouquet Ideal was really good. Dolce Amalfi was really good, but again, not an easy reach. That one was like a juicy fruit kind of scent. Bouquet Ideal was a gorgeous, like woody, nutty vanilla. And I haven't smelled enough other Xerjoff to really say. I will say that Ivory Root is one of the most mind-blowingly incredible fragrances I've ever smelled in my life. Like, that one is up there for me. Like, if I had to say, like, ranking some of the best perfumes on the planet, not just like ones I like to wear, but best perfumes in general, Ivory Root, wow, you guys, leaves me speechless how good that perfume is. I just don't know if I would actually wear it, so I don't know if I want to own it. And then there's just too many other ones that I haven't smelled yet from Xerjoff, so I actually need to just purchase a whole bunch of samples and do like a Xerjoff dedicated video, and more so for discovering for myself what I would like to own. There's one Xerjoff though, I will be honest, I have blind purchased a Xerjoff. It's coming in the mail. I'm really excited to try that one, and I will let you guys know how I feel about it. It gets really good reviews, and I have no idea what it's going to smell like. I've looked at the notes, but I have no idea what it's going to smell like, and I'm super excited to try it, and I'm going to try really hard not to do a first impression with it, because I feel like Xerjoff is complex enough and special enough. You have to give it some time, you know? So anyway, I've talked for a long time here about Xerjoff, but it's a huge house, and it's one that I just don't have too much experience with. All right, so when it comes to Mizensir, I don't know if many of you are very familiar with Mizensir or if you've tried them. Honestly, you guys, the hype is real with that house. They have beautiful, beautiful fragrances. You do need to get your nose on them. I've actually owned quite a few from Mizensir. I've owned For Your Love, which was a blind purchase, which did not work out for me. Wasn't my cup of tea, but it was a beautiful scent. Treasure is one of the most gorgeous perfumes I've ever smelled, but that one just I found to be a little bit too strong, and I sometimes got a little bit headachy from it. It was just a really strong, bold scent. Luxury, that one is a beautiful, like clean linen, laundry, soapy, powdery kind of scent. It's absolutely beautiful, and I would definitely recommend checking out Luxury. That is definitely a house that you don't want to sleep on, and they just have kind of all around fantastic, beautiful perfumes. Let's touch on a more affordable brand that I don't think gets a lot of hype or a lot of attention, and that is Ralph Lauren. And from Ralph Lauren, I would say my favorite was probably Tender Romance, but that one is actually discontinued, which is really unfortunate. Tender Romance was a very easy reach and like just a beautiful, quintessential, pretty, everyday feminine perfume. It was like a little sweet, a little floral. It actually smelled ever so slightly like Juicy Couture, like Viva La Juicy, ever so slightly. I saw some people compared the two. And Tender Romance, I would say, is a lot more sophisticated and elegant and more mature. Long story short, my favorite from Ralph Lauren is definitely Tender Romance. And let's quickly touch on Anit Goutal, or just the House of Goutal, I think is what it's called. And my favorites from that house are definitely Tenue de Soirée and Nuit et Confidence. I did own both of those perfumes. Nuit et Confidence is similar to Spiritus Double Vanille, but it has a little bit more incense and some pepper, and it's a little bit less complex and less boozy. It's more of a bright, like vibrant, shooting stars kind of vanilla versus like a woody nighttime boozy vanilla, I guess, is how I would differentiate them, but they do smell very similar. The vanilla in Spiritus Double Vanille is very similar to the vanilla in Nuit et Confidence. If you like one, you will probably love the other. And the Tenue de Soirée was a caramel scent, I think. I think it was like a floral caramel. I can't quite remember, but that one was fantastic as well. It was very dressy and very occasion. Like that one made me feel very dressed up when I wore it. So I used to have that one a couple years ago, and I'm kind of thinking, I wonder if I wouldn't mind bringing that one back one day. The Anit fragrances, the Goutal fragrances, are all beautiful from what I've experienced. All right, when it comes to Hermes, I don't have a current favorite. I have had Eau de Merveille, just the Eau de Toilette. That one I had a couple years ago. I really, really liked that one, but I didn't love wearing it. I wore it a couple times, and I ended up not loving wearing it. Like just, yeah, I didn't enjoy the experience of wearing that one. The scent itself was beautiful, but I did not like wearing it. Eau de Merveille Blue was really nice, but too masculine and aquatic for me, I think. And Twilly, I've not had a lot of luck with the Twilly fragrances. I think that they're great, and especially the original Twilly, I think is like a really beautiful, classy, everyday, soapy, grab and go, career, like office kind of scent. Really nice, smells expensive, smells sophisticated, but I didn't love wearing that one either. So yeah, I don't actually have a current favorite from Hermes. Let's quickly touch on KKW because there are a few KKW perfumes. So currently, I believe I have Body 2. I think it's Body 2. That's the coconut one. I like that one. I like the way it smells, but I don't wear it. I actually just use the bottle as decor because I actually really like the bottle. I love that it's kind of that like cement, concrete, stone sculptural feel, and also I just think the bottle is really beautiful. The color is really pretty. I think is it Body 3, the one that is in the gray bottle and is a little bit more unisex? Is that the one? I've heard such good things about it. Or is it Body 1? I can't remember, but I would like to try the other Body perfumes. Initially, when I wanted a KKW, I thought that Body 2 would be the best one for me because the notes sounded most up my alley, and I also think one of the other ones was not available. And I am really happy that I purchased that perfume because it looks beautiful sitting on a perfume tray. It makes for some really nice eye candy, but the scent inside, although is beautiful as well, it's like a musky vanilla coconut. I don't like wearing it because it's coconutty. So. Okay, and let's end the video with Jo Malone. So obviously, I don't know how I could ever do a favorite perfume from each house without remembering Jo Malone, but I managed to do it last time. So when it comes to Jo Malone, I love a lot of the perfumes from the house. They are so artistic and special and pretty, but there's a lot that I just they're just not my cup of tea. Myrrh and Tonka is fantastic. Mimosa and Cardamom is one of my favorite scents from them, but it's a perfume that I love the way it smells, but I don't ever wear it. I can't bring myself to wear that one very often. So I've actually owned that one and it just ends up never being one that I enjoy wearing. The only one that I currently have is Peony and Blush Suede, and I really like Peony and Blush Suede. That one is just like a really easy to grab and go and put on everyday kind of a peony and apple and suede fragrance. And I would like to continue visiting more from Jo Malone. I've smelled all of them. I've even smelled some of the ones that are harder to get your hands on from the Jo Malone website, and they're all beautiful. They're all just really refined and pretty and sophisticated and luxurious, and they're all beautiful. I honestly don't think you can go wrong no matter what your taste is. I don't think you can go wrong with Jo Malone, whether you like Wild Bluebell, Lime Basil and Mandarin, or whatever you like from Jo Malone. I really do not think you can go wrong. They're all fantastic. If you have a favorite Jo Malone, let me know down below what your personal favorite is. And that about wraps up today's video. So that's it for today's video, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed part 2 of my favorite perfumes by designer or house. Let me know down below if there are any other brands that you would like me to cover. There's lots of brands out there that I just have yet to smell and experience myself, especially when it comes to the niche world. I'm still pretty new to the niche, to some of the niche world. I've smelled, I would say, like a good handful, a good chunk. I'm not super well versed in all of the niche and indie that's available out there. Also, I do apologize again for my voice. It's just constantly cracking. I hope my voice comes back to normal one day soon. That would be great. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you all very soon in my next one, and bye for now.